Alright, welcome back to Wmma Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a fight review. So we're going to Miami, Florida for Combate Global. We're going to the Atomweight division. Number 1 ranked Combate, Atomweight, Ana Palacios coming in at 7-1-1, taking on the unranked Chihiro Sawada coming in at 4-0-1, making her Combate debut. Now Sawada is the Shudo Atomweight champion, and as part of a TV program for Wmma TV in Japan, Sawada came to the U.S. to train. She trained at Team Wmma alongside Carla Esparza for this fight. And then, of course, at the end, she would make her U.S. debut for Combate. So interesting aspect, interesting way to get a Japanese fighter to train in Japan or in the U.S. and then fight. It's a neat concept. Anyway, let's get into the bout. First round, Palacio lands a nice uppercut. Gave Sawada a shiner right away. Some good counter punches from Palacios. And the first couple of takedown attempts by Sawada were stopped by Palacios. And then Sawada did get a single leg to half guard, but Palacios managed to get to full and closed her guard. So Sawada started landing some GNP, some ground and pound. Palacios opened her guard to escape, but ate a nice punch from Sawada and immediately closed her guard back again. Some more ground and pound from Sawada, who stood to try to pass guard. Palacios managed to lock the triangle on her, then transitioned to the armbar, and I'll tell you what, it was tight, but Sawada stacked her up, and Palacios tried to go belly down, but that then allowed Sawada to escape to Palacios' half guard, and then Palacios got back to full guard, and closing out the round was some elbows by Sawada from top position. Good first round, open scoring. All three judges gave it to Sawada. Second round, both fighters, were showing some damage at the start of the round. Some Palacios counter punches kept Sawada outside early, but Sawada started throwing some more low kicks, more counter punches by Palacios. Then Sawada, real nice transition here, caught a kick, threw a left punch that dropped Palacios down, put her down, and Sawada stood over her, kicking the legs of Palacios until she got back up. And then Sawada caught another kick to a left counter. This time, Sawada started landing more. Nice body kick by Palacios, but Sawada again caught a kick, converted it to the takedown near the cage. And then from here, she started landing some good ground and pound. Palacios, however, managed to kick her off and stand up. And at this point, you could tell that Palacios was slowing down. Nice double leg by Sawada in the center of the cage. That was pretty much at the end of the round. So then after open scoring, all the judges had Sawada up 2-0. Then the third round starts, and there, you could see there was a big cut on the bridge of Palacios' nose. Palacios started getting more heavy with her hands, but Sawada got a takedown, and Palacios tried to put on a guillotine, but she had to let go as Sawada passed guard. Then they went to a scramble with Sawada finishing on top in half guard. Some nice ground and pound by Sawada on top as she tried to pass, and eventually getting to side control. From there, more ground and pound from Sawada, and Palacios tried to scramble, but unfortunately for her, Sawada took her back in that scramble, started striking from back mount, even flattened Palacios out a couple of times. Palacios, however, did manage to regain half guard. She turned over and regained half guard, but she ate some more elbows from Sawada. From there, Sawada tried to pass, but Palacios gained full guard, and the third round ended with Sawada landing some more ground and pound from top position. So it went to the judges, and all three scored it unanimously, 30-27 in favor of your winner, Chihiro Sawada. So a good stateside debut for Sawada, taking out Combate Global's number 1 atomweight. And this is why it's not advised for promotions to bring in fighters outside and have them immediately right away face your top fighters. Because, look, it might turn out well for you, but there's also a big chance that it goes very, very sideways. Excuse me. And that's exactly what happened here. I mean, Sawada came in unheralded, completely unknown to, all but the most hardcore of hardcore fight fans that follow the JMMA scene. And then she takes on Combate's #1 atomweight. And honestly, aside from like the first half of the first round, made it look very easy. I mean, just completely took out their #1 atomweight. Now, I did think that Palacios did well at first with her counter punches and, damaged Sawada early. But eventually, Sawada took over with her wrestling and ground and pound, which, hey, Palacios is darn good on the ground. She's very dangerous with her submissions. Almost caught Palacios with first a triangle and then the armbar. But, man, Sawada, Jimmy Smith, the commentator, kept talking about, the Japanese grappling style is very, submission before position. But that's not Sawada. Sawada comes really more from the wrestling background, which is position first. So really allowed her to cement her position and then start ground and pounding. Now, apparently, they mentioned this in the commentary, Palacios had visa issues. She got to Miami late. Barely had time to cut weight, but she did manage to make weight. So, can't really use that, I guess, for an excuse. Now, here's a big question here. Sawada is the Shudo atomweight champion. But taking out their #1 atomweight that fast, that easily, you got to think Combate is going to want to keep her around for at least one more fight to see if they can have another one of their fighters beat her and get that win back. Because, I mean, they brought in someone, I don't think Japanese fighters had ever fought for Combate before Saturday night. They had 3 fighters from Japan fighting. I don't think they're just going to want to let that win get away from them. I think they're going to want to sign her to another fight. Gotta imagine they're going to want to. Otherwise, it makes them look bad, because for them to bring in a fighter from outside, she beats their #1 fighter, and then for them to just let that fighter go, that makes Combate look bad. So you got to think they're going to want to bring her back. And then the bigger question is, how exactly is this going to shake up the Combate atomweight picture? Because I pulled up their rankings earlier. So you had Palacios at #1. She just lost to a completely unranked fighter. Then at #2, you have Claire Lopez, who has been fighting at strawweight, because apparently no one at atomweight actually wants to fight her. She's never technically fought at atomweight in Combate. Then you have Gloria Bravo at #3. She's coming off a loss almost a year ago, last July. Then at #4, you got Daniela Hernandez, Tiny Mexa. She's coming off a loss herself. This could, if they add Sawada to the rankings, and they should, this is really going to shake up their rankings here. Because they have a complete unknown who had never fought for them before come in and beat their #1 fighter. Anyway, let's talk things to work on for Sawada. Got to work on her jab. She wasn't jabbing enough, and every time she tried to enter, at least early in the first round, she was getting caught with counter punches. You start throwing that jab out there and stick it in your opponent's face, it's going to make your entries a lot easier. All striking starts with the jab, especially when you're coming from a wrestling background. Learn that jab. For Palacios, she's got to work on her scrambles. I don't think she won a single scramble in this entire fight. Now for fights to make, for Palacios, let's have her rematch the #3 ranked Gloria Bravo. They last fought a couple years ago, I think they fought. Both are coming off of a loss, so both are seeking to get back in the win column. Palacios won that first fight with a second round submission. Let's see if she can repeat that. For Sawada, well, the fight to make now is her against the number 2 ranked Claire Lopez. Claire keeps saying that no one in Combate really wants to fight her. I don't think Sawada's going to turn her down. Sawada wants that smoke. I mean, she came all the way to the U.S. to train and then make her U.S. debut. I think she's down for that smoke. And honestly, with her being a Shudo fighter as well, you could either make that in Combate, or Rizin wants to bring Claire Lopez back. You could make that in Rizin as well, with Sawada being the Shudo rep and Claire Lopez repping Combate Global. I think Combate would rather have it in-house, but you could also do that in Japan in Rizin, because Rizin does a lot of those crossover matchups. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this bout. Chihiro Sawada defeats Ana Palacios via unanimous decision. Let me know your thoughts on the fight in the comments down below. If you liked the vid, please give it a like, and while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to Wmma Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.